Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's another fine, beautiful, sunny day here in eastern North Carolina. And behind me is the greenhouse. Finished. Well, 99% finished. I still have to get my roof vent manual openers. I've contacted the manufacturer about them. Last I heard, they were back ordered. So BC Greenhouses will eventually catch up with me. I sent them an email this morning and I'm sure I'll get them soon. In the meantime, I don't know if, yeah, you can't see. I'll show you another shot. But I've rigged up something temporarily to open the vents, and I'll show you that in a minute. The side vent is working. That's all hooked up and working. And quick side note, if you haven't noticed either from the intro or the shots now, it's that time of year here in eastern North Carolina, and I'm sure many parts of the South or maybe just anywhere on the planet where there's pine trees, and lots of them, they've all gone to flower, and all of the trees have released their pollen. So there is yellow pollen everywhere. My truck, which is normally blue, is yellow, and I'm sure by the end of the day this blue shirt will be yellow as well. So that's life in the big city, as they say. But back to the greenhouse. So I'm gonna I started wiping down the inside of the glass. All the glass was pretty dirty, whether from coming from the factory or even just Pat and I installing it. You know, you're just not worried about fingerprints, not worried about perfectly clean glass until it gets done and installed, which it is. So now it's just a matter, I'm just going to wipe down the insides today. I think Thursday we're supposed to get a downpour, so the outside should get a good flush, hopefully, and get most of the yellow pollen off. But let me show you the greenhouse, like I said I was going to, and then, yeah, well, let me just show you the greenhouse. The roof, I'd opted to go with a plastic roof on the greenhouse. Now, I could have gone with glass, and there are other options out there from BC Greenhouses, and the reason I chose the plastic was simply because of hail. We do tend to get some hail down here in eastern North Carolina occasionally, and that was a concern of mine, especially with the glass roof. The glass on this greenhouse is 3 millimeters thick. I know Hartley offers a 4 millimeter. I don't know how strong or how thick the glass would have to be to hold up to a certain size. You know, if you get a 1-inch thick glass, Mother Nature will dump a basketball-sized piece of hail on it and shatter it. So I decided just to go with the plastic roof. If it gets damaged, it should be relatively easy to replace. And I say ish because I did a lot of caulking as per the manufacturer for the roof, but you can replace the panels if you cut all that caulking and unscrew everything, blah, blah, blah. If there's any wind noise, I do apologize. It is a bit of a breezy day, which is helping to spread that pollen everywhere, making everybody sneeze and cough. That also provides a little bit of shade on the inside. It's not so much shade, it's more diffused light, which is a benefit or a side effect I wasn't expecting, and I think that's going to work out well for the seedlings, because if a young plant or seedling gets too much sun, it could wind up burning. But if the light is somewhat diffused, it will be better. Now the walls and the front, all the walls, the front, the back, the two side walls, they're all glass. Like I said, it's 3 millimeters thick. They are multiple sheets of glass overlapped. So on the side here, there's a lower level and then there's upper level. If I switch over here, you can see the side vent. Now, in a perfect world with unlimited budget, I would get this greenhouse is rated for 110 miles per hour, allegedly. That's what I got, all the extra, there's a lot of extra structural supports in there to help it withstand that. Again, Mother Nature will do what Mother Nature does, and nothing is bulletproof. I only got the one vent on the side. If money was no object, I would do extra structural supporting on the inside, and I'd get a back glass door perhaps, and maybe I'd get even more roof vents. So I was working within a limited budget. So I only got the one side vent. I think it came with the 2 roof vents. I'm not sure about that. Front door open, side vent open. 2 roof vents are open. Right now it's about 100 degrees inside. It's about, I think it's, let's look at the phone here. Temperature is 63 out here. So I think that's going to be perfect. Like I said, I don't really expect to be able to do anything with the greenhouse past tops mid-April. By that time it starts getting too warm outside and the sun is too bright, and anything that goes in the greenhouse will probably just get burned alive because it'll just get too warm in the greenhouse. If I had my greenhouse a little bit earlier, obviously I could have used it. If it survives the season this year, then next January, probably late January, I will start to put seedlings in the greenhouse and do all my, instead of doing work, putting my stuff in the garage, I will start everything in the greenhouse. And that's the goal, that's the dream, that's the reason I got a greenhouse. Now the front door is nothing special, it's a door, except it has a lower part here which is all screen. So the glass slides up and down. Obviously when it's cold out, you want to drop that down, preventing more cold air from getting into your greenhouse than needs to be. But when it's a warm day out, or let's say it's a mildly warm day out, you can just open this up and have the screen there. Me personally, right now, today, I'm going to have the door open. That will allow the most amount of cooler air in and the most amount of heat out. But again, let's say it was a, I don't know, 45, 50 degree day. I would keep the door closed and just have this window open. And again, that will allow enough air in while also maintaining heat within the greenhouse for those young plants. Above me here, you can see the 2 roof vents. Right now I just have a piece of 2x4 holding each one open, and that's allowing that hot air, obviously, that accumulates in a greenhouse to escape. So that's really about it. It's a greenhouse. It has 4 walls. It has a roof. It has 2 roof vents, 1 side vent. Mostly glass and aluminum structure. Now I chose to go with a greenhouse over something like a polytunnel or a plastic greenhouse because I wanted something of a little bit more quality. I wanted something that was going to hold up to stronger winds, hopefully survive a hurricane. Nothing, again, is bulletproof, and if Mother Nature wants to, Mother Nature will destroy this. If Mother Nature destroys this, it's made out of aluminum, which is recyclable, glass, which is recyclable, and it's also safety glass. So when it breaks, it's going to break into a million pieces. So whatever is on the ground will just, it's not going to be a big deal. If I went with a polytunnel or something else along those lines, there's a lot of plastic involved, and I really didn't want to do that. The greenhouse also will, I think, get warmer than a polytunnel and maintain that heat better. Don't know. I'm not a scientist. I haven't done any experiments. If you know, or if you have a polytunnel and a greenhouse, if you have any more information, please leave your comments below. I'm always open, willing to listen to any and all arguments and discussions, etc., etc. So, but this is it. The greenhouse. It's done. Now I got to start putting stuff into it. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, I will be getting a order from Lowe's. In that order will be several 2x12s. I will be building a bench that will go along the one side of the greenhouse, and it will be topped with hardware cloth. And this way I can turn around and put pots and plants and seedlings on there. Obviously, I don't have to worry about the top rotting if it's hardware cloth, and if the ground gets wet, whoop-de-doo, it's concrete, it'll either evaporate, and actually, even if the greenhouse starts getting too hot, I can put water on the concrete, which will then help cool the greenhouse a little bit. Friday's video, with a little luck, will be me putting together that staging bench. Let's call it a staging bench for the greenhouse, the 12-foot long staging bench, which, if I measured correctly, should fit in here without a problem, but I'll measure three more times before I put it in here. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. There's not much else to say about this other than it's a greenhouse. And hopefully I can start growing many more plants and having the space to start all those seedlings, and even some place to store and shelter more tender plants for the winter, because we do get cold temperatures, and I'd like to have more tender plants or tropical plants here that would do fine during the summertime, but during the winter times not so well, especially with the freeze. Have the greenhouse. Hopefully all goes well for the remainder of this year. Hopefully I get an early, hopefully if it's still standing by next year, I can get an early start with all that good stuff. Again, I will be using it now. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave your comments below. Quick update, I did put some extra drawings of the flower garden, proposed flower garden, and the rose garden, my plans for the rose garden, up on my website, growingyourgreenfinger.com. Be sure to check that out. If you have any questions, again, feel free to email me at jason@growingyourgreenfinger.com, or again, leave your comments below in this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified of when I do post up a new video, especially hopefully for the video coming out on Friday of that staging bench. And I think that's about it. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.